Hi, I'm Roger in the shop. What we're going to talk about in this video is something you have probably seen several times if you've been watching them other videos shot in the shop here. That is this fence. It's a Vega fence, and it's fitted to a 1976 Craftsman table saw, which I bought new back in the day. And of course, since it has since been built into a table, which is a whole other different subject, I'm going to cover this and how it's held up after 3 years of use. Okay, what I'm going to be doing in this video is reviewing the Vega saw fence, and it's not a brand new review. I think a few other people have done it, but this is after using it for 3 years and using it heavily. How well it's held up and how accurate it is and the modifications I've made to it. As you can see, I've done some modifications to it. On the side facing the blade, that is a piece of 3/4 inch plywood with a T-track routed into it that I can use to mount featherboards on, and I'll show how I do that later on. And on the opposite side, this is a side that faces my router lift, and because I built the router table right into the table saw here. That is a double thickness of 3/4 inch plywood bolted to the fence with a T-track in it. This is on there to hold my custom-made router fence, which I will also get into a little bit in this video and how that works. Anyway, another modification I made, when this comes, it's got a little Bakelite plastic knob here. Well, when it came, it was broke. So I just got an aftermarket aluminum knob on there. So if you're looking at one of these or buying one, that doesn't come with it. And of course, neither do these two fences. What does come with it, though, are some long screws where you can attach things to the sides, auxiliary fences, as I've done here. Of course, mine are hidden by the way I did it. And I used a little bit different method here. I used some 1/4-20 flatheads and countersunk them into the auxiliary fence here. And they are drilled and tapped into the fence itself. And I did the same thing on this side. Okay, when you get this fence, it's packaged very nicely. Comes with these aluminum brackets right here that replace the old steel brackets and angle iron that are on the original saw. And there are 2 of them. And I did not opt for the big unit. You can get up to 52-inch wide rip, but I don't have the space in this little shop. Comes with this nice heavy steel tube. There are adjusters underneath here to be able to adjust your tube back and forth this way if you need to, and it takes a little bit of alignment, but it's not difficult. It's got a tape stuck right to it. You see here, and it takes you out to a 26-inch measurement. When this came in the box and I unpacked it, I did notice one thing with these aluminum brackets. They're well made, but they were not finished. In other words, there was a lot of burrs and sharp edges and things hanging on. I did a little bit of filing with just a basic bastard file to knock them burrs and ridges and everything off. And the fence itself, as I'd mentioned about replacing this little, where you see the silver knob, and replacing that. But everything else has worked well. It's very accurate. I don't have any kind of run out. I don't have any problems. Lay this up on its side here. You can see this little, like, I guess you would call it a bumper, a runner, a slide, whatever. Because of the way I built my table out, and I actually have my extension folded up right now because I was cutting some plywood. It runs in this groove, which is, this is also supplied. This bolts onto the back of your saw. And if you don't want to do the extension like I did it in the added table, there's a bracket that actually folds over the back of that, and it runs on that a little if you're worried about it shifting. But as I said, I have not had any problems with this shifting whatsoever. And while I have it laying here on its side, I'll show you this little micro adjuster here. That's what this little knob is for. You can, kind of hard to do when it's laying on its side. This has to be locked, and then you can micro adjust your fence a little bit. You can see it moving just a little bit there if you look at the in the eye. So if you need to make some micro adjustments, you can do them after you have your fence locked. I mean, you can get down to the just fractions of an inch with it. And once you get it where you want, you just pull this knob down. I can't do it without it being on the rail. Just, you pop this down and it locks it there. As far as this here working on the rail, when it locks down, that little cam comes out and locks this on that rail, and it does not move. It doesn't slide. I haven't had any problem with it shifting. So overall, I'm very happy with this part of it. Okay, there's the micro adjust level now locked down. You have to pretty much have it on the rail to do it. Very easy, just pops up and down. And if it is down and you pop this up, you're not going to move the fence very easy because of the drag on it, so you'll need to pop that back up, and then it slides real easy. Of course, I do keep my rail waxed, I keep my table waxed, and I keep the back rail back here where that little runner runs. I keep that waxed so I don't have any issues with that sticking or anything. Okay, what don't I like? Well, I did mention that at the beginning here with these brackets it was a little rough. And the only other thing I don't like, and this is mostly my fault, is because this area right in here is just too handy of a place to throw crap. You know, it's a great place to keep a square, a ruler, tape measure, pencils, but I tend to take any kind of flat surface and just pile all kinds of stuff in it, but that's not the manufacturer's fault. I will also mention this is made in USA, and I know they make them to fit more than just these Craftsman saws. I know you can get them to fit a lot of different units. I had purchased this one from Rockler. I don't recall the price. I'll have to look that up. Okay, one of my other add-ons, and I had shown when I was holding the fence up here, the T-tracks I put in. Well, on the router table side, instead of just having a straight fence to run along, I went a little farther. And that's what this here is. This has dust collection built in. It's got a little cutout right here. Oh, it's got sawdust in it too. Got a little cutout right here, a little compartment, with the exception of doing a rabbit with a straight bit or something where it shoots all over anyway. This does a very good job of sucking up the dust. I got that stuck in there pretty good. I've got an adapter in there right now. There's two different ways I can do this. The table saw itself has a little dust collection system that's built in underneath it, which I will cover in a future video here sometime. And it has blast gates, and there's a hose rolled up underneath the extension that goes up and fits over this 2.5-inch hose. It fits over the whole thing here. This adapter I have in here is so I could take my rockler back here, my dust right, the hose right here, and plug it right on, and that's what I usually do unless I'm doing a whole lot of routing. But if I'm just doing a few things, that's quick. I don't have to get under, I don't have to mess with the blast gates. But there's nothing really exotic about this. A couple of knobs right here. There's one here, and then there's one inside here. And they fit into the track on the side of the saw table fence. And I'll show you exactly how that works. Whenever I'm getting ready to route something, or a lot of times I just leave this on there because it's got these little compartments here. It's a good place where I keep my push sticks and so on in there, but if it does start to get in the way, it's very easily taken off. These little T-nuts, just line it up on the end down there. I just got to back it out long enough to get it in there. There we go. I slide it back, stick the other one out, slide it in, bring this over to where the bit is, just like so, and center it. Got a little notch here, and I can center that over my bearing. You may not be able to see it, but I can look right down in on my bit. Then I just tighten these two wing nuts up. Or knobs, I guess they're not really wing nuts. And then I can continue with my routing, and this is very easily adjustable here. And I can lock it down. And then it doesn't move, and I mean it doesn't move. It stays there. If you would happen to get something against here that would deflect it, and it won't deflect more than about 1/8 of an inch, as soon as you let that pressure off, it just springs right back. And you shouldn't be pushing against there like that anyway. I just collect my dust collection hose to here and turn the vac on and do my routing. And you may have seen a couple, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you may have seen this little rig in action. These sides right here on the fence, this is a T-track that was put in, and I have T-bolts and feather boards. And if you have watched any of my beehive building videos or anything like that, you've probably seen me use those feather boards on here. And with this track down here into the table, I can also put a feather board on there, so I can keep things in and down and lined up. Well, that's my review on the Vega saw fence, and of course I showed the modifications I made to it and the additions. On the auxiliary fence side, I made mine, it's about 10 inches high with the T-track in it. If I need to go higher for some reason, I can easily unbolt it and put a larger one on. On the router table side, most people don't have this type of rig, so that probably doesn't apply to you, but you can use the same concept, and it doesn't have to just be on a Craftsman saw, whether you have a Delta or one of the other brands. You can do the same type of thing. Like I said, this was a very custom build when I built this. The Vega fence, value-wise, I think it's a good value, but I think the price is a little steep for what it is, although it is made in USA. It's not made in China. With the exception of the brackets not being finished very well. I don't know, maybe it was late Friday afternoon at the factory when mine got packaged, I don't know. But everything else was just fine. I have had no problems with it, no complaints. Little bit of damage in shipping with that little bakelite knob being broken, but that's not a big deal, and I kind of like the aluminum one on there better anyway. But that's my review of the Vega saw fence, fitted to a 1976 Craftsman saw. It's been extremely modified and built into a table. This has worked absolutely perfect for it. So if you got something out of this or enjoyed it, we appreciate getting that thumbs up. Of course, we're always looking for subscribers. But otherwise, until the next video, thanks for watching.